You're listening to LA40 with Katerina Cozias, only on LA Talk Radio.
All right, good morning, LA. Good morning, digital world. Good morning from wherever you're tuning in from. The thing that I love about digital television is that we broadcast all over the world. We are coming to you from Los Angeles, where you plug in every Thursday at this time for another edition of LA Talk Radio and TV. I'm your host, Katerina Cozias, here with the episode of LA40. And I am super thrilled today because, as you can see, we have a full house. I am happy to introduce the members, some of the members of the theater company Warriors for Peace. So first of all, good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to do individual introductions so that everyone knows who these people are and why they have taken the time to grace our show today. To my left is founder of Warriors for Peace, Mr. Christopher Lavero. Christopher, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for bringing your team with us. To your left, we have Haley Lipscomb. Hi, Haley.
Hi.
And to my right is Lindsay Russo. Thank you, Lindsay. I was going to say Romano, and I thought it's not Romano. No. Lindsay Russo. So thank you, ladies, for being here.
Thank you.
You know, we have a very interesting climate, not only globally, but also domestically happening right now with respect to the, I suppose it's a battle between love and fear is really the best way to say it. And one of the reasons that we are really excited to have you here with us today is because Warriors for Peace is approaching how to create a better landscape for the present generations and for future generations based off of using the arts as a cathartic way to help heal. So, Christopher, what I'd love for you to do is share a little bit about what prompted you to start this group, and effectively, what is your mission?
Well, for starters, I volunteered to go to Afghanistan after 9/11, and my unit was deployed actually to Iraq, where I spent a year in Mosul when the insurgency began. And so it was a pretty active year. I was attached to support the 2nd Infantry Division, and when I returned, I was diagnosed with acute symptoms of PTSD. And 3 months upon returning, I almost became one of the statistics you hear about. 22 veterans per day are taking their lives. And I was half a trigger squeeze away from being a statistic. So I struggled with how to heal and how to get better and come all the way home, as we like to say. And I tried different modalities. I sought help through the VA, the Vet Center. But ultimately, what I found to be really powerful as far as a form of catharsis was the arts. And so I wanted to share that because God bless the VA and all the efforts that they're making to help veterans. But if 22 veterans are still taking their lives every day, we need to do something more. And I found this to be a very powerful way for me to get back to center and to find peace. And so that, combined with an event that happened when I was studying Shakespeare at the College of Marin, I was informed about a group of actors coming from Iraq that were going to perform at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. And I thought, what an opportunity to get American veterans such as myself and Lindsay, who have served in Iraq, and get them together with the Iraqis and get them on stage together and perform art together as a means of healing and building narrowing that gap and building bridges and promoting peace through the arts. And so I thought about that for a while, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I just form my own company and have that be the mission?
And what a fabulous mission it is. And to your point, Lindsay, you are a U.S. Army veteran.
I am, yeah.
And have been pulled into this vision as an actor.
Yes.
Can you explain what your pull was and why this is of importance to you?
Yeah, well, kind of similar to Chris, I was deployed to Iraq with the 101st Airborne Division. I was a combat photographer and a public affairs sergeant. I kind of had a similar issue when I got back, dealing with issues of PTSD. Wasn't really sure what to do with my life, and so pursued a master's degree in journalism. And then once I got through all that, I just realized the stress and everything that I had dealt with was just starting to take its toll on me. And so I decided that the only thing that really brought me true joy in life was performing. So I went back to the theater, and that really started helping me be able to find some peace in my life. And then when Chris approached me about this company, I thought it was absolutely a perfect way to put together all of the elements that had helped me get through some hard times, and also be able to reach out to other communities and bridge the gap between different religions and different cultures, as well as helping the veteran community as well.
Well, and I think the importance of helping the veteran community is huge. And, Haley, you have not served. However, you are part of this group because of your extensive background in theater, in arts. You have been performing since the age of 5 years old. And I know that you folks have your big play coming up, which is going to be a modern day take on Julius Caesar. So Haley, can you explain a little bit about what prompted you to join this company, given the fact that they have a really large mission, I would say?
Yeah, I met Chris in a theater class, a classical theater class, and we became fast friends. And we kind of, did our own thing. And he asked me to be a part of the Julius Caesar table read, and I really had no idea what I was getting into. And it was this big table read at his house, and he kind of went in depth about what he's trying to do. And it just struck such a chord with me because, being an actor, we do it to heal, and a big part of it is that, and also to, perform. But he brought this mission of bringing catharsis to veterans returning home. And I thought, oh my gosh, if I could do, something with this art that I love so much and giving back to the community in some small way, if I could be a part of that, what better way?
Well, and what I love, thank you for that. What I love is that the entire objective of this theater company is to be a bridge. And it's to be a bridge between the veterans and the arts, to be a bridge between female gender empowerment. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And also just generally a force for peace. We have a trailer for your upcoming play. Chris, you are a classically trained actor and a lover of Shakespeare.
That's right.
And have taken your love and passion for Shakespeare and put it into a modern day setting. So we're going to play that for you folks at home here, just right, coming right up. You'll want to stay tuned these next couple of minutes. This is a good one.
Choked with custom fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war!
Remember March? The Ides of March, remember?
Brutus hath rived my heart!
I do not like your fault!
Come, revenge yourselves alone on Cassius.
All this, I more fret to your proud heart break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are, and make your bondmen tremble.
Caesar lived, he durst not thus have moved me.
No, peace, peace, you durst not so have tempted him.
I durst not.
No.
What durst not tempt him?
For your life, you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that, I shall be sorry for.
You have done that you should be sorry for! There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats. By any indirection, I did send to you for gold to pay my allegiance, which you denied me. Was that done like Cassius?
I denied
You
not.
did!
I did not! He was but a fool that brought my answer back! Strike.
Sheath your dagger. Be angry when you will. It shall have scope.
Hath Cassius lived to be but mirth and laughter for his Brutus.
When I said that, I was ill-tempered too.
Give me your hand.
And my heart.
So if you're just joining us, that was a trailer for the play coming up called Julius Caesar, put on by the Warriors for Peace Theater Company. We have a number of their members with us here. So Chris, what I'd love for you to do is share with us a little bit about, you talked about being deployed to Iraq.
Mm-hmm.
And coming back and having to reintegrate into society. The mission of your theater company is to really use the arts as a way for people to heal and to contribute. What is it about this particular play that you'd love our audience to know?
Well, Julius Caesar is one of Shakespeare's most famous works, and it's a play about politics and war, among other things. And our nation's been at war for almost 20 consecutive years. And so what I wanted to do with this play is, well, it's appropriate, it's timely, and because it's a play about war and our nation's at war, I thought it would be a great opportunity to have veterans who have experienced the horrors of war to bring that depth to their roles. So one of the things that we do in Warriors for Peace is a collaboration of veterans and civilians, because I think there's a certain power and when civilians and veterans work together. And it has the added benefit of narrowing that civil-military divide. So what's going to be unique about this production is we're going to have a cast of combat veterans working with civilians. And we're also going to gender bend some of the main characters, which fits within the mission of our company, which is to support and empower women in the arts and in general. So Mark Anthony, traditionally played by a male actor, is going to be played by Haley Lipscomb. Our Caesar is going to be played by Nicola Bertram. And some of the other roles will be played by women as well. The other thing that we're going to do is it's important for us to promote diversity in casting in the arts and have it reflect modern society and the military. So we're also going to have a very diverse cast.
I love that. This production is going to be available for live viewing in Los Angeles starting November 30th.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be playing at the Hudson Theater.
Hudson Theaters. November.
And so we would love for all of you across the nation to make your way to Los Angeles for those first few weeks of December to catch this play live. You are also holding a very important fundraiser in a couple of weeks, which we're going to get back to in just a moment. But first, Haley, I want to ask you about stepping into a traditionally male role as a very beautiful female.
Yes, it's very exciting. Traditionally, I've always, looked at Shakespeare and played so many, or just looked at the works and was like, okay, I can do this female role, I can do this female role, and never really looked to playing any of the strong male roles. And it wasn't really until I started working with Chris with Julius Caesar that I think originally I was going to play Calpurnia. But this role came up and I was, a little bit timid to, step into these shoes. And through working with him, I just realized wow, we could really play any role. And it just brought this, it opened so many doors. And women don't typically get to play a lot of strong, leading male roles. And when you're actually playing it, there really is no gender.
Now, when you're actually playing it, are you in costume as a man?
No.
You are playing
it as
the role
a female.
as a female with that classic male role of Julius Caesar or Mark Antony or, I love that. And you have done this traditionally with the company, Chris. We have another video we'd like to show you. And this is talking about the women of Shakespeare. And one of your actors who, again, had stepped into a role similar. So let's play this video, and then I'd love for you to share a little bit about her story.
And without Chris offering us this opportunity, I would not have been selected to play any of these roles. And it messes with your mind, because after a while you think, well, I'm not going to put in for that role. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to do that. They're never going to cast me. I don't look the part, but this opportunity gave me the opportunity to see that who cares what someone else's idea of what an ingenue ought to be.
That's right.
You prove to yourself tonight you can do this.
Yeah, so it's interesting because this is not only a female, but it's a female of minority, and you have given her the opportunity to step into, again, a very powerful, classic theatrical role. So Chris, we were talking about the fact that you have a fundraiser coming up for the, to raise funds for the company and for the play and the production Julius Caesar. That's going to be happening on August 18th in Los Angeles. Can you explain a little bit about what people can expect?
Yeah, it's going to be at the LGBT Center at the Ed Gold Plaza in Hollywood on McCadden Street. And it's going to be an evening of, we're going to have live music, we're going to have swing dancing, we're going to preview a couple scenes from Julius Caesar, so you're going to get kind of a live look into what you're going to see.
Behind the scenes, right?
Behind the scenes, you get to talk with the director, Ann Noble, and some of the cast members.
Excellent. And you can go to your website, which is WFPtheater.com. WFPtheater.com stands, of course, for Warriors for Peace. You can purchase your tickets to the fundraiser and also pre-purchase tickets for the production in November. Excuse me for a moment. Lindsay, what role do you play in this play?
It's still up in the air. I think Octavius.
Ooh, there we go.
Well, I think that's what we landed on. Who, of course, is one of the generals in the story, and
also played by a male normally.
Yes, exactly. Also played by a male. And so Chris was, because of my combat experience, thought that was a good fit for this production, and so. That's what I'll be doing. I get to have the last word of the play.
Yeah. Well, before we give you the last word, I'd like to talk about another mission of the company, and that is ethnic diversity.
Yes.
So we have gender diversity, which I love, and this is one of the things I love about the arts, is this is really a vehicle that allows for creativity based on creativity itself. Not on these presupposed notions that we placed in society, be they gender, ethnic, racial, socioeconomic. You also are part of something called the Muslim Outreach Project.
Oh, yes.
Can you explain a little bit about why you feel that is important, or what you're doing with and for that?
Yes, it's very, very dear to my heart. So, as we know, there's a lot of racism still exists. There's a lot of xenophobia. There's a lot of Islamophobia, and I think that it's important for me as a soldier who served at war in a Muslim country to come back from that and to make a stand against Islamophobia. And I think there's a certain power when veterans like myself and Lindsay, who have served in combat in Muslim countries, to come home and be the ones to say, hey, you know what, all this hate, not on our watch. All this xenophobia, we're making a stand against Islamophobia. We have skin in the game. So if we do it, maybe you should listen to us, because it's just, it's unacceptable. The hate and the division, that's not America. It's not who we are. And as soldiers, we swore an oath to defend the country. And our country is about welcoming people from all cultures and all religions. So we just wanted to make a stand against Islamophobia. So what we did is we partnered with Diavolo, which is an LA-based dance company, and we invited members of the Muslim community to come do a workshop with us. And we had a day of dance and Shakespeare, and it was a way that, again, fits in our mission of bridging gaps and supporting disenfranchised groups. And it was a very... Actually, you were there.
I was just about to jump in and say that I had been invited to go and attend this workshop. And I really walked in a little bit late. I'll be honest, I was a little bit late. And I walked into an arena, and you're going to see, because we have a video of this.
Oh, great.
You're going to see that it is a group that I walked into of, as Christopher had just mentioned, Muslim Islamics that got together with a theater company, that got together with a dance group, led by a Frenchman. So there was a lot going on, and they welcomed me into this group, building on exercises that were driving towards trust. If you remember ever being a little kid in a playground, and you used to play that game where you would close your eyes and tighten your body and lean back and hope that your friends would catch you. Well, these are important lessons to continue to share and to learn as adults, because they remind us that it has to do with trust and the building of trust between people, irrespective of ethnicity. And so we do have a video that we'd love to show you. We've got a lot of fun elements with today's show. This is the Muslim Outreach Project video that we're going to play now. And I'm going to get my producers to pop that up on the screen here in just a moment. So this is the Muslim Outreach Project.
The meaning that I see in this is that unity is put first and foremost in this gathering, the unity of all human beings. And for veterans to be reaching out to Muslims, when traditionally veterans are thought of as being antagonistic towards or fighting against Muslims, is just wonderful. Because we really need to blow away these ideas that there are inherent things that separate us that really are not. We're all human beings. The core of us is the same, even when we have different values, even when we support or love different things. The place where that love comes from, the place where those values often comes from, is the heart.
It's a beautiful thing to actually partner with the War for Peace.
In there, but I was in there, Christopher was as well. And, again, with the tension that is continuing to plague the world, everything from building a wall to travel bans to, things in between, the arts can absolutely help us to build a collaboration. I want to go back to talking about the veterans and talking about the clip that we saw a little bit earlier, which was the piece around the trailer for the upcoming production of Julius Caesar. What prompted you to place that production, classically Shakespeare, into a setting that is so 2020, if you will?
To make it accessible to the audience. Shakespeare's works are timeless. The messages are timeless. His understanding of human nature is just genius. So, again, because we are at war, and we've been at war for 20 years, why not set it in a modern warfare setting? It just makes it more accessible. And what's interesting is, there's different layers to what we're doing. So, for instance, every single cast member in our play will be wearing a piece of clothing that was actually worn by a soldier in combat. And a lot of the equipment that you're going to see, a lot of the clothing, a lot of the costuming is stuff that we wore. In fact, in the trailer that we showed, there was a helmet in the background. I was wearing that helmet when I was blown up by an IED. There's other items in there that were worn by myself or others when they were ambushed or when they were in combat, when they were blown up, and all that's being incorporated into our costume design.
We talk a lot about vibration and frequency and the reality of quantum physics and energetics. And I love that you are bringing those elements into the production itself because of something that you just mentioned. Look at the history that has been absorbed by that particular piece of apparel. Think of what you're bringing to the table from an energetic level. And I know for some of you, especially some of you on the East Coast, we get into a woo-woo conversation here in California. But, there is some truth to this, I really genuinely believe.
I like woo-woo.
I like woo-woo, too. You like woo-woo. Speaking of something that is not woo, that is your very, very, very important fundraising event that's going to be coming up. And again, I'm going to mention it if you're just jumping on. You're with us here. We are talking to some of the members of the Warriors for Peace Theater Company based out of Los Angeles. And they are holding a fundraiser this coming August 18th. This is in 2 weeks, Sunday from this episode. And it is to raise awareness and raise funds for the ongoing mission of the company, which is to take veterans and include them in the act of performance combine veterans together with civilians for the creation of art, really, and theater that all of us can benefit from. We have one final clip we'd like to share with you, and this is some feedback from a Army veteran. His name is Bill Payton.
Oh, Bill Payton.
Bill Payton.
Wonderful actor, great human being.
Love
you, Bill.
And yes, and he has some things to share, very poignant. So we'd like to play that video. We'll play that now.
Warriors for Peace has brought me just that in particular, peace. It has brought me comfort, a sense of belonging, purpose, to be together with my brothers and sisters. It's just extraordinarily rewarding. The idea that art works as a catharsis for veterans, and then the idea that you can bring warriors from different nations together in peace by way of art. And it's like, yes. When you talk about bringing people together around art, then we can strip away what separates us, and therefore we have a common ground. And we can begin to see each other in a different light, not as adversaries, but as artists. And see each other in what we have in common. What a noble gesture.
So powerful words by that veteran actor. Lindsay, the company's been together since 2014. When did you join?
Well, I met Chris back when we were both living up in NorCal. I was in Berkeley, he was in Oakland, and then I guess it was pretty soon after I moved to LA, which was, I guess, 2016, and I think he approached me about it in 2017, maybe? Yeah, because we'd kind of lost touch and then rekindled once I moved down here, because I'd kind of separated myself from the veteran community when I got out of the military, and then only started reintegrating myself once I moved to Los Angeles.
How did that feel, disassociating yourself so that you could come back into civilian life, only to get pulled into a project that is promoting, veterans coming back? So
right.
How do you feel now?
I feel a lot better about it. I mean, one of the reasons I had to disassociate myself was because there's a lot of stereotypes about veterans, and I found that my personal belief systems didn't line up with a lot of veterans, which was something I found when I was in the military as well. Not all, but a lot. And it wasn't until I moved to Los Angeles and got tapped into some of the veterans down here, and also with Chris's mission, that I realized I finally found a community of veterans whose beliefs and ideals meshed with mine. This idea of combating hate, combating racism and sexism, and bridging the divide between different religions and breaking down walls and barriers as opposed to putting them up. And for someone who's been in combat, and obviously Chris as well, we've seen firsthand the damage that hate causes in this world. And being able to do anything we can to bring people together is something that I wanted to be a part of, and so this was really important to me.
And we're happy that you're part of this group. Haley, is it different working with actors who have this type of, I don't want to use the word trauma, but let's be honest, when you're in war there's bombs blowing up around you, there is trauma.
Every day.
Do you feel that there is an element that they tap into when you're acting with them?
I think it's different for me because I know them, and I know, we've become very close, so I know their trauma, so I can personally see it. And it's so incredibly powerful. And I think it's really important, really, to have civilians working with veterans, because there is this gap. I mean, only 0.5% of this country is serving to protect this country. And like what Lindsay said, there's this stereotype, right? And with working with veterans, it's opened up my world, and I know now, I have more of an awareness that I think the rest of the country needs. And it's just been incredibly special to me to be able to work with these veterans.
Sure, and Chris, you wanted to piggyback on that?
Yeah, I just want to say that, I mean, if you look to my left and my right, these two amazing, powerful, beautiful, talented women, it's what makes, I mean, they motivate me so much. They have helped me actualize the potential of this company. When you have veterans and civilians collaborating, working together, you know, Haley mentioned that, you know, she's impressed with, you know, what we've been through and whatnot, but we are so impressed with her and her strength and her passion, as well as the other civilians. So there is such a power when veterans and civilians collaborate together. That's where the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes civilians to help us reintegrate back into civilian society, because we're veterans, but now we're civilians.
Right.
And so there's a real power and magic when we come together to create art. And I just can't speak highly enough of Lindsay and Haley. They're, I mean, I love you guys. I love you.
We're talking about love and fear. So we're going to play in the space of love this morning.
Mm-hmm.
We have, and for anyone that is looking for more information, wanting to join, wanting to support, wanting to buy, wanting to be at the coming production of Julius Caesar, they can go to the website. We have that available for you here. It's FP, Warriors for Peace, WFPtheater.com, Warriors for Peace, and you can pick up your ticket for the upcoming fundraiser. That's August 18th. And or you can pick up and pre-purchase your tickets for the production itself starting November 30th, running for 4 weeks, and possibly expanding into national distribution. So if you are a supporter of the arts, please make sure to mark your calendars for November 30th, as well as if you're local to the Los Angeles area, come in and join us on August 18th. I plan to be there. Yay! Christopher, any parting words for people out there who may want to step into acting but just don't know how?
Yes, be fearless. Believe in yourself. Don't let fear prevent you from doing something that you want. And I just wanted to end on like one little.
Yes.
I wanted to leave you with this.
Absolutely.
So look at your watches, look at your phones, and tell me what time it is right now. It's what 11:30.
Past the hour, yeah.
All right, it's 11:30 a.m. By this time tomorrow, 22 veterans would have committed suicide. The arts are proven to help mitigate that epidemic. Please support it.
Please support the arts. Please support Warriors for Peace. And please continue to tune in with us here at LA Talk Radio, where we bring you so much interesting conversation and really plug you into the community here. Thank you, ladies, Haley and Lindsay, for being
for having
here.
us.
Thank you, Christopher,
Thank you so
for
much.
all that you do. And thank you to you at home for tuning in. We will see you again next week. Bye-bye.
You're listening to LA40 with Katerina Cozias, only on LA Talk Radio.